I've had an idea. Now, unfortunately, my grandma passed away recently, a couple of weeks ago, and she was in a care home in Swindon, and they took really good care of her, and I've been thinking of ways that I can try and raise money for that care home and the care workers and staff that took such good care of my grandma for such a number of years. So I've been trying to think of stuff, and people have been running marathons, and Captain Tom's been walking up and down his garden, and people have been doing stuff, and it's incredible some of the stuff that people have been doing. A guy climbed the height of Everest up his stairs or something. But I think if I'm going to do something big, it needs to be something that is kind of in line with my skill set and kind of in line with hockey goalkeeping. I think that's the way that this should work. And I've been thinking, and I was cleaning my teeth last night, and something came to me, which is the closest thing I've got to hockey goalkeeping at the moment is using my crazy catch in the garden and throwing a ball and catching a ball off the crazy catch to replicate, hand-eye and kind of a goalkeeping position. Now, a lot of care workers and NHS staff, especially during this pandemic, but they do this all year round, have been working 12-hour shifts. So I think it's probably about time, in respect to them and to honour them, that I put in a 12-hour shift. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and throw a ball against a crazy catch and catch it for 12 hours. Now, I don't know if this is possible. I went out this morning and did it for 5 minutes, and I did 200 throws and catches. And I've worked out that that's over 12 hours, that would be 28,800 throws and catches. As in just catches, that's not both. But anyway, yeah, I was about to set up a page. I was getting really excited. I was going to email people. I've already been in touch with Crazy Catch and they're keen. But I'm going to have to go out now and do like half an hour solid and see like what happens to my arms or, different things. And I've done longer than that in training before, so I'm sure that it's going to be fine. But I'm a bit worried that I've got ahead of myself here and that 12 hours is not physically possible. And I'd hate for people to donate money and then for me to, get injured or whatever. But I'm going to do it. I'm really determined to do this, and I think it's a brilliant thing that, as in like it's specific to hockey goalkeeping. And to be honest, like I spend 3 hours a day with my hands up kind of catching or saving balls. So if anyone can do this, I think it's probably me, given that I've trained for this. I've trained for this my whole life, for this moment. But yeah, I basically want to raise as much money as I can for the good people of Rose Cottage Care Home who took such amazing care of my gran, and I think this is the way I'm going to do it. So let's see if it's possible. Right, I've just done half an hour on the crazy catch. I did 1,180 in half an hour, which I just worked out would be over 28,000 in the full 12 hours, assuming I can keep that pace up, which it's a solid pace. Like it's not quick, but obviously it's hard to work out what might go. I think from just doing it then, I think my shoulders will eventually tire and become very sore. I'm throwing it underarm because there's a lot less movement, and I kind of worked out towards the end there, if I throw it at the bottom of the crazy catch, it doesn't bounce up very high, so I can actually keep my arms low, because if you're throwing low and catching high, you obviously have to bang, bang, which is a lot more shoulder movement and therefore kind of muscle. But I had Baxter helping me there. I don't know if you could see that in the time lapse, but I think he's going to have to go to the kennels for the day when I do this, because that was really, really annoying, trying to help me catch it. But yeah, concentration also, I think this is going to be more mental, not just the endurance part of it, but as in like watching the ball and being able to catch it. I kind of noticed 20 minutes in that I was getting a bit sloppy if you lose concentration, because there's a lot of brain power watching the ball. I also I got quite out of breath quite quickly, but I can only imagine, I think I'm not breathing properly. I think because you're a bit braced, because you're catching and it's like reactive, I'm not actually breathing like properly. So I think that's something I need to work on. I'm gonna have to train for this. I think I might do another 30 minutes now actually, just to see how it goes. But I'm gonna have to train for this. I can't just wing this. It's gonna hurt. Which is the point. And obviously it's gonna be 12 hours on my feet, so I didn't notice that too badly then, but I tried going on my knees for a bit. I think that might be a good little cop out, although the NHS staff don't get to go on their knees, do they? So maybe I should stay on my feet. Yeah. What was the other thing? Hit me in the balls a few times when I missed the catch down the middle, so I might have to wear a cup or a box, because that could put an end to things. It's disheartening when you fully airball it as well and it goes 20 yards behind you and you've got to run and get it. That could really take the wind out of the sails if I'm 6 hours deep. But yeah, interesting first session of half an hour. Like I said, I might do another half an hour now, see how it goes. Yeah, I think this is doable and I'm going to do it. So I did my first half an hour yesterday of crazy catching. Half an hour solid, and felt okay, like nothing hurt, no cause for concern really. But one thing I didn't really think about was my Whoop strap, which is my heart rate monitor thing, that tracks activity and gives you scores and calories and things. Detected that for the half an hour that I did, my heart rate was up at around 150 the whole time, and I burnt around 400 calories, which is way more than I thought. So I thought this might be hard mentally, and I thought it might be hard physically on my like hands and arms from throwing and catching. I didn't think it would be that hard on my heart, which is fine, but that's like, we're looking at, that's like a 10,000 calorie day for 12 hours. So that's interesting. And that's something I hadn't really factored in, but give it a go. Right, it is Sunday the 19th of April. I've just completed an hour, a solid hour of crazy catch. I did 2,400 reps. It's the longest I've done in one go, obviously. It's the second time I've done a long session, but it was alright. I am feeling it in slightly different places. I think my arms, kind of biceps actually. I think because I'm throwing it underarm. Bit of a bicep pump on, which is nice. I suppose that's kind of what I'm worried about, right? It's the muscular fatigue and how that ends up looking after 7, 8, 9 hours. But luckily, since the Olympics got postponed, all I've done is beach weights, so I should be in fairly good shape for that. The other thing is just like general stiffness. I think because I'm just stood up and I'm moving my arms to catch the ball, but then everything else is going to end up quite stiff because I'm just stood still. So I think I need to remember to move around, and I'm also going to have to stretch a lot during. I think like when I take my little breaks. I think, well, one thing that worries me just from doing it then is that every so often you catch the outside of the crazy catch, or you catch like a bit of a wire and it bounces off at some mad angle, which is obviously what they're for. And obviously my goalkeeper instincts kick in and I just lunge or like almost dive, like super stretch. And what I'm worried about is if like 6 hours in, I'm super stiff because I've just been stood up for 6 hours doing that, and then I lunge and I pull something. That was kind of my concern. That happened a few times then. Like obviously I stretch a lot now and I'm fairly limber, but 8 hours into a crazy catch marathon, I might not be so limber. So I think I'm going to focus on stretching and see if I can work out how to incorporate that into the day. But yeah, not too bad. An hour straight, to be honest, felt okay. Occasionally your brain just goes and you just like, I missed the crazy catch on my left hand about 6 times then, and just threw it over it. So my left hand may let me down at some point. But I think I'm going to do it in my garden where it should be. It's not that big, so it's not like I can just throw it over a wall or something when I'm pretty fatigued. But yeah, we'll see. I think, what else was there? The counting kind of makes it, makes it more bearable almost. I've heard that marathon runners and ultra marathon runners, they just count their steps like to 100 and then back or start again, and it kind of makes it, because I'm counting to 100 because I wouldn't be able to keep track past that, and now I'm just going to write it down. I think that's kind of what I've been doing, but you just start again and then it's like another 100, another 100, another 100. It's quite methodical, and it makes it, kind of breaks it up. But yeah, so what I just did, but times 12, and that'll be the marathon. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I feel better or worse having done that for an hour and it was okay. I don't know whether that's, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I've got a week and a half, so a bit more training to do.